Let's talk about Social Security myths, not opinions, not political talking points, actual myths. Because misinformation doesn't just confuse people, it keeps them stressed, frozen, and afraid to plan. And if you're watching this, I don't want that for you. I'm 53 years old and I've worked since I was 17 years old. I've heard every version of the Social Security rumor mill. Some of it sounds convincing and some sound scary. And a lot of it gets repeated so often that people no longer questions it. And that is where the problem starts. Myth number 1, Social Security will be gone. Let's start with the biggest one. I know you've heard Social Security will be gone before I retire, right? This is a headline that stops people from planning. It makes people feel like, why bother looking at my statement? Why bother checking my options? Why bother trying to understand any of this? Here's the truth. Social Security has never stopped paying benefits. Not during a recession, not during politics, not during politics shifts, not during political shifts, and not doing funding debates. Even when people talk about trust funds and shortfalls, payments continued. So, what changes? The rules, not the existence of the program. And that part matters. Most major changes apply to people who are far away from retirement, not people who have already worked for decades. Big difference. In less than 10 years, I'll be able to retire at 62. So that puts me in a totally different category than someone who is 25 years of age. Let that sink in. So, lumping everyone together creates unnecessary fears. Myth number 2, retiring at 62 means you lose everything. So, rumor has it, if you retire early, you lose your benefits. See, it is that statement alone that has kept people in jobs that they hate, in stress they don't need, and in poor health longer than necessary. And it's simply not true. So, what is true? You can retire at 62 and not lose your benefits. What else is true? Your benefits at 62 will be reduced. Yes, they will be reduced. But again, what else is true? They will never disappear. So you can retire at 62. Your benefits will be reduced, but they will never disappear. And you know what? For some people, taking their Social Security benefits early makes sense, especially when health, peace, and quality of life matters. So for me, retiring at 62, it works. because I have already secured a foundation. And that foundation is housing. I'll be retiring in Jamaica. Jamaica is my foundation. I don't need Social Security to do everything. I just need it to do enough. That distinction right there changes how you plan. Myth number 3, waiting is always the right move. So here's the saying, if you don't wait until your full age of retirement, you're making a big mistake. So that assumes that everyone's life looks the same, the same health, the same expenses, and the same stress load. And the truth is, that is not the truth. Our life is not the same. So everyone's plan of action is going to look different based on their life cycle, based on their decisions, based on their health, based on their expenses, etc., etc. Because the truth is, life is not a spreadsheet where we just check off in comparison to everyone else. Because health matters, peace matters, time matters. Again, that looks different from you and I. Sometimes receiving a small check earlier means not having to wait years for the big check. It could be that simple. This isn't about being reckless. This is about being realistic. Realistic to your situation, your goals, your vision, your outcome. Myth number 4, living abroad stops Social Security. The word on the street is if you live outside of the US, you will lose your Social Security. This one right here, it keeps people mentally trapped. And it doesn't need to. The truth, Social Security follows you. It's your income. It's deposited into your account. It goes where you go. It's not dependent on if you live in United States or you decide to live in Thailand. It goes with you as your income. The difference when you start to collect Social Security is when your Medicare benefits kick in. Okay. Medicare benefits, first of all, don't kick in until you're 65. So let's say you started collecting your social security benefits at 62. 3 years later, your Medicare kicks in. This is where the difference comes in about what you can carry with you and what you cannot carry with you. Medicare is owned by United States. Look at it that way. You cannot go to Thailand, using that as an example, or to any other island, Jamaica, wherever you decide you want to stay for your retirement, and bring along Medicare with you. It is to be used within the United States only. So if you leave the United States and you're on vacation, short term, long term, sabbatical, expat, right? And you have to go to the hospital and you need your medicine, or you have to do a follow up visit or your wellness visit. None of that will be covered under Medicare. They will deny it. They do not cover international services outside of the United States. It's not an international plan. Okay. That is the distinct difference when you hear people talking about you can't take Social Security with you. And I'm speaking from someone who's worked in the healthcare industry for a year, for over 30 years, and you have patients coming in and they'll say, well, I was told that, I'll lose everything if I travel. No, you're not going to even lose your Medicare. You just can't use your Medicare outside of the States. So again, you don't lose your Social Security benefits. It goes with you any place you go on this globe. Okay. As long as you can get to your bank account, you're fine. Right. But Medicare is the stipulation. Medicare, you cannot leave the States with. So when you begin to mix these two programs together, you're creating unnecessary panic. And this is why this channel exists, to remove fear and give clarity. If you're over 50, if you're starting to think about retirement like me, and if you felt overwhelmed by headlines, you don't need rumors. Don't lose yourself in the rumors. You need context. You need calm planning. In the next video, I'm going to show you how I personally am planning retiring at 62 without panic, without pressure, or perfect numbers. So stay with me. I'll see you in the next video.